every now and then I love to play a little bit of tag with the wildlife, although I think this one here wants to kill me. So just, maybe I should dispose of him. Can't catch me. Can't catch me, buddy. Woo! Look at this chase, it's rampant. Will he catch me? Will he not catch me? Oh, he was running away for a second there. Too fast for you. Oh! Oh, okay, I think he's... Oh my god, he's gonna kill me. Oh. Hey there, it's me. I'm back. And you're back. So, welcome back. I did two things between episodes. My smoke is now not weird looking. And listen to me eat. Could you hear that? So could I. To start this episode off, I'm going to be doing a little bit of landscaping. And I've also decided I'm going to chop part of the top of this mountain off. Wow, you know what? I have never been in here. I didn't realize it was like this at all. Maybe I'm gonna rethink cutting the mountain off. And maybe I can get a goat horn. I got one! Now I can safely put this away in a chest, forget that it ever existed, and probably never use it again. You must always never know where anything is. I repeat, you must always never know where anything is. If you don't spend more than about 5 minutes looking for an item, then you're doing it wrong. Okay? Where did I put my rockets? Now you just saw a clip of me getting a goat horn. And worst part is I have misplaced it already. I'm pretty sure that I put it somewhere secure. I thought it was in one of these chests, but apparently it's not. And I have no clue where it is. However, for now, let us look at this. This is the very, very start of what I am calling the landscape wars. And I've just put in a bit of a starting spot of stairs going up half of the hill. I'm not sure how high I want the steps to go just yet, so I'm just going to stop right here. And I'm going to add a little bit of a platform up there to maybe build some tiny feature on. This one here is probably just going to have some landscaping stuff on it, just to give it a little bit more variety, I suppose, in and around the area. Now, this hill is going to have a few extra pieces of retaining wall, and I think that I'm going to do them low down just to give us an idea of where buildings might be able to go in the future. I'm going to do much the same on this retaining wall as I did on the last one. This is just the preliminaries, and now we're looking at a little bit of texturing. This is block texturing and adding little bits and pieces to give it more of a three-dimensional look. And then I will go back through and I'm going to change some of the blocks for other blocks and vice versa. And now I've got somewhat of a layer set down on the bottom. Now I'm just going to remove a few blocks and replace them with other stuff. And actually for this one, what I'm going to do is add a few extra blocks that I wouldn't normally add into something like this. That should give a little bit more definition between stuff, but it will also give me a little bit more room to be flexible with what goes on top of it. So I just ran out of rockets. Let's see if I can make it back to... Looks like I might make it just... Right, and while I'm here, I'm also going to grab some other pieces. We're going to do a little bit of granite. We're not going to use much of it, but I also want to potentially add some diorite in. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to stick yet, but I do want to get some mud blocks as well. I think I have more mud blocks somewhere else. We'll have to find those. And there's a few pieces of... There we go. There's a few pieces of concrete that I'd like to put in as well. So nothing too light. We don't want white concrete. That's gonna contrast really, really badly. We might be able to get away with putting a couple of blocks of smooth stone in if we're really, really light on that one. but also here we are. I want some grey concrete. Grey concrete is going to go well with the mud, but we're going to have to use both of them quite sparingly for this one. And to really give some definition between the top blocks and the blocks underneath, we might do a bit of a contrast with some muddy mangrove roots. Not sure how that's going to look yet. It'll be trial and error for that one. But I also need a couple of stacks of moss blocks. I need a couple of stacks of moss blocks. There we go, I got it out. Take a little bit more grey concrete with us too, and that looks like it. I do want a stack of this. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but also we just have one more ingredient to get, and that is over this way. Here we go, some vines. So we can add a little bit of moss throughout, and we also want to add vines to it as well. So we'll take a stack of extra vines as well, just in case. Let me just finish this wall off and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. And here we have a mostly finished product. You can see with the addition of the granite, it's just broken up a little bit more and blended in a little bit more with its surrounding areas as well. And we also have, you almost can't really see it until you zoom in on it, a few blocks of grey concrete, which more than anything, it just adds little shadowy spots that they're not meant to be super noticeable with the eye. And then we've also got the mud blocks. Those just break up with the darker grey blocks as well. Your eyes tend to miss the really basic textures and just kind of hone in on the more textured blocks beside it, which is really good for drawing the eye especially. Now we are at a spot where we've got most of it done. It's just that we need to add a few more little bits of detail here. And I'm going to do that by just switching out some andesite stairs, some stone stairs, and we'll even do some... This gives a little bit more texture to the blocks themselves, and they don't exactly have to be like that. So I can actually put the stairs sideways, and then we get this little kind of bit of an opening here, and then I can just block up the backside with a slightly different colored block. And instead of putting that tuff behind there, I can actually replace it with the grey concrete. This will give a little bit more depth to that as well, so when you're looking at it, it really does look like a dark hole. And there we go. We have one fairly well finished wall. A few little bits and pieces where we've got some slight inaccuracies in the wall. There's probably a few more things that I can do to this wall, and if I remember them while I'm making this episode, I will let you know what they are. Now, I still do have to do this section far on the left here, but this part is all I was focused on. Holy goodness, he scared me. I couldn't even see him there. Where did he even come from? Down in the depths, maybe. Right, for now, that is enough of this area. I will come back to this eventually, but what I really want to do is work on this section. And let's get a footpath or a pathway that looks a little bit better. Well, that was a weird time lapse that came out of nowhere. Wonder why did I put that one in there, eh? Who knows? Oh, and look at that. Job's done. I was just flying around and I was looking at this land. I really want to start building stuff here. But every time I looked at it, it just looked so messy. So I couldn't control myself. I had to do something about it before I did anything else. Which has meant that my pathways actually haven't been completed. And what's worse is I've actually pulled the old pathways out because I pulled them out before I decided that I would just start mowing the lawns, I guess. Mowing the lawns. And so now this place looks like a bit of a mess, but that's alright, I'll come back to that in a second. While I've been mowing the lawns, it has given me a little bit of time to think about the types of blocks that I want to put down for my pathing as well. I'm probably going to use a bit of a mixture of stone and gravel and stuff, but I might make it a little bit darker than, say, this set of stairs or this wall here to give it a little bit more separation from some of the other stuff that's around. While I was transforming this area into something a little bit more lush, I think I've gone to... Well, I haven't really touched any of this. So from about here all the way around to the top of this hill here and back around here. This is all the spot that I've done so far, and I think I'm pretty happy with where it's at. I don't think I'm going to change it much from here on. But there is some other stuff in the background, like over here. If I do start building over there, I'm probably going to have to terrain a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. There's a whole bunch of stone and stuff I really do need to get rid of, but getting rid of it at this point is, well, you know, I just finished doing all of this, and I just need a little bit of a break from it right now. However, I finished off this retaining wall, and wow, I'm so loving it. I also added a few extra bits that I haven't added to the other ones, which is fence posts. You can see that it takes up a nice square patch there, and I've dotted them around. It just has a little bit of a recessed look to it. And then there's also another feature which is really hard to see, but if I can find one that it's been done on. Yeah, here we go. This cobblestone one right here. You can see it's got a couple of grooves on it because there's actually something behind this fence post, and that means the fence post is going in a triangle or a three direction, which brings out the sides of it. Which one did I have? Was it the cobblestone? Yeah, whatever. So now you get this kind of little bit of an indent even in the wall as well, which just adds a little bit more depth. I'm super happy with where this wall is, bar like maybe a couple of pieces of rock that sit up a little bit higher and bring up a little bit more dimension at the top side. Other than that, this is looking really cool. And I don't yet have plans for what I'm going to put up there. And I think as it is, I can almost get away with not putting anything up there in regards to buildings. I think even if I just made this like a bit of a scenery, a bit of a garden, or a bit of interesting terraining, then I would probably be able to get away with not putting a building up there. And sometimes having a nice patch of terrain to look at can really help everything in the surrounding areas. Now, other than putting in a really nice pathway, I am struggling to think of what else I can do in this build. I want a little break from building new buildings, and I do have a really big plan that I want to bring in the future. Hopefully an episode that's coming really soon, and it's going to take up quite a bit of space, but it won't be on the ground. So I don't really need to worry about ground space so much. And it's going to be a bit of a perspective thing as well, where it's going to draw your eye from everything that is down here. And that will come in maybe the next episode, or might be the episode after that. And again, I'm really not sure what else to do here. You know, there's always stuff to do, but it's about what I really want to do. And what do I really want to do? Well, at the moment, I really want to find another enderman just to play tag with. But maybe it's a good question to ask the audience. What do you think I should do? What has anything inspired you? Have you got any ideas of what I could lay down maybe around this area, or any additional things that I could add or subtract to any of the builds I already have, especially this one I'm standing on, because I'm still not happy with it. I don't think I'll ever be happy with it, and one day I might just rip it down if I can't think of a way to make it better than it is now. And if you can come up with an idea of how to make it really cool, then look, I'm all ears. Or again, if you know something, or you can think of something that I can place anywhere around here or anywhere else in the base, let me know, because I want to be inspired by something and I want you to help me with that. There's nothing better than getting a perspective of someone else to really solidify an idea or make something blossom. It's really, it can be difficult as a creator or even just someone playing Minecraft to think about what the audience might like and what I can do to improve things. Anyway, let's move on from that. Here I have a big selection of blocks that I'm going to choose from. These are all just to make a new footpath. I'm not 100% sure which palette I'm going to use yet, but I do want to put some coral blocks in there. I think it'll look quite cool since they're already grey, dotted about the place. I think these are going to really blend in quite nicely, especially with the cobblestone, the gravel, and the stone even. Yeah, so they're very, very similar in colour. So these should merge quite nicely together, and I think they do. Oh, I think that looks quite good, really. Now, I did mention that I want to make this a little bit darker than a normal footpath, and I'm going to stick with that, but I am going to make my base blocks more of this grey monotone colour. In order to make it a little bit darker, we're going to add a few different blocks throughout. So the mud is especially going to be quite good for the edges. So if we pop a mud block there, we can see it's a little bit darker. And then once we get some dirt around the sides of it, I don't think I have any dirt, proper coarse dirt on me. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. We've got a bunch of coarse dirt now. And the coarse dirt will help break up some of the kind of mud blocks around the outside. So we need some of the brown terracotta. But we also have things like dark oak, which we can use as well. And if we place that down in specific areas, you can see that these are all kind of blending in a little bit better. The mud block may not be a good choice to use. This is the palette that I'm kind of looking at mostly. There'll be other bits and pieces blotched through it, but this is what I'm going to work with, I think, for the majority of it. Let me get a new pathway through here and let's have a look at how it turned out. Okay, look. Before I show it to you, I'm not really happy with it. That's really all I have to say. I'm not happy with it. I'm not 100% sure what I've done wrong. Parts of it look really cool. Parts of it don't look really cool. Let me just show you what I mean. Here is what I have currently. And it really does just look like a hodgepodge of random blocks. Some of it, like I think this kind of looks okay. These bits kind of look okay. But there's something wrong with the main design, and I think it has something to do with the contrasting of different shades that I've used. I think it's just not quite the right color palette. The original color palette that I was going to go for, no, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. Before I put the black wool in, I thought that it was missing something, and I thought maybe if I put the black wool in, it'll bring it out a little bit. All that's done is made the black wool more visible than anything else. See, now that I've said that, it's probably all you're looking at. Yeah. I think, regardless, it's better than what was here. But I'm probably going to do more work to this. I've been going backwards and forwards for at least the last 3 hours, 4 hours, trying to figure out what exactly went wrong. I've changed this multiple times already. I've removed some blocks. It actually had a much larger block palette in it to start with, and I decided to remove some of the lighter colored blocks, hoping that I could make it a little bit darker. I don't have anything to replace that with. I'm not sure why that dirt was there. But I could not think of anything. Either way, this is what we have for now, and I'm going to ignore it until I come up with a better idea. I have also put some shrubs, bushes, trees, bits and pieces throughout this little area, just to give you a little bit more to look at as you're walking past. I'm trying to make it feel a little busy, but not too busy, and I did also block this house here from access up this way. Like it doesn't really seem logical for someone to walk around here to get to their front door. So I think I will in future put like a little staircase going up this way. And I haven't done anything else to the retaining wall or the terrain around here. I will probably do a little bit more work. Hello, mister. Come down here so I may slay you. Your life will be mine. Got him! Let's play tag, hey? Oh, 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 oh. Oh no, oh no, he's still coming. Oh, let's go. Round 2, danger dude. Let's see if he can catch. Oh no, he's already catching me. Okay, I'm gonna die already. Hey, thank you for watching. It's been really fantastic having you here. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.